Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining, and thank you for your interest in joining the Germantown Band. My name is Dan Gallagher, and I'm the band director in Germantown, and I teach students in 4th through 12th grade about the joys of instrumental music. And tonight, or whenever you happen to be watching this, you're going to be learning about the different types of instruments available in the Germantown Band. And before we do that, I want to tell you a little bit about my band journey and how that started. I started playing in my school band in 4th grade, and I played in it all the way through 12th grade. I played percussion, and I had an absolutely wonderful time doing it. I made some of my best friends that I'm still friends with today through music, and it's been an amazing experience in my life. And I know several of those friends are still in touch with me, and we still play music together sometimes, even the ones that didn't pursue music professionally after high school. So band is absolutely something you can take with you for a long time, whether or not you do it professionally. It's so much fun, and I cannot emphasize that enough. So I hope you'll consider joining in the fun of the Germantown Band next year. We're going to start by showing you the different instruments, and up first is Miss Chaika, and she'll be showing you about the flute.
Hi guys, I'm Mrs. Chaika, and I'm here to demonstrate the flute for you today. The flute looks like this, if you are unaware. Right? It is one of the smallest and the highest pitched instruments that's available to you in 4th grade band. And today I'm just going to play a little clip from Disney's Hercules for you.
Hello, I'm Miss Raftery, and I teach lessons for the clarinet and the saxophone. When I was your age and choosing a band instrument, my instrument was the clarinet. I originally thought I was going to play saxophone, but when I tried them out, I had an easier time with the clarinet, and I still ended up really enjoying it. I picked up the saxophone later on when I went to join the jazz band in high school, so I still got to play that too. Band was always my favorite class in school. Even during years that I was having a rough time in some of my other classes, band was a bright spot for me, and it was a place where I felt like I could be myself. And I loved it so much that I went on to become a music teacher. So I'm going to show you how each of the instruments sound. This is the clarinet. It is a member of the woodwind family. And this first piece I'm going to play for you is a little piece of Peter and the Wolf. The characters in the story are all played by different instruments, and the clarinet plays the part of the cat. And here's what the cat sounds like. And I'll play one more piece for you on the clarinet. This is the beginning of Rhapsody in Blue. So that is the clarinet. And now I'm going to play a bit for you on the saxophone. The saxophone is also a member of the woodwind family. You may notice that both instruments have a reed that vibrates, and that's how these instruments make the sound that they do. The first piece I'm going to play for you on the saxophone is from Pictures at an Exhibition, and the picture in this particular movement is called The Old Castle. And then the second piece I have for you on the saxophone is In the Mood. This one's a little jazzier. And that is the saxophone. I really encourage all of you to join band next year. I think you're going to have a wonderful time. Take care.
Hello, everybody. Now that Ms. Chaika and Ms. Raftery have shown you the woodwind instruments that you can choose from for band next year, I'm going to talk a little bit about the various brass and percussion instruments you can select from. I'm going to start with the trumpet. And to make a sound on any of the brass instruments, it works a little bit differently than the woodwind instruments. What you do is you take the mouthpiece and you buzz into it like this. Or you can do a siren like this. Now watch what happens when I put the mouthpiece in the trumpet and play something. So I'm using the different valves to change the note. I'm also using different airspeed and lip tension to change the note. And when I put all those things together, I can play a scale like this. And now, just for fun, I'm going to play the main title from Star Wars. That, my friends, is trumpet. Up next, we have the French horn, which is shaped a little bit differently than a trumpet. And if you'll notice, my hand goes in the bell of the French horn, and the bell actually faces backwards. Because the way it works is the sound from the French horn is designed to bounce off the back of the room and then reverberate out into the audience. It sounds a little different than a trumpet and the other brass instruments, but I think it sounds really awesome in its own way. Here's what it sounds like. So that's the French horn. The last of the brass instruments available to students in the Germantown Elementary Band is the trombone. And the trombone is different than the trumpet and French horn in that instead of valves, most trombones have a slide. And changing the slide position is one of the ways you can change the note that you play. Because when you move the slide out, the air has to travel farther than when it's all the way in. The other cool thing is you can use the slide to do what's called a glissando, which basically smears a high note into a low note and vice versa, like this. Or you can start low, go high, and go low. Or you can play something more melodic. That, my friends, is the trombone. The last instrument family from which you can choose for the elementary band is the percussion family. Now, percussion comprises many instruments, some of which play pitched notes like the woodwind and brass instruments. Those instruments are the xylophone, the marimba, the vibraphone, the glockenspiel, and the chimes. And for lower notes, the timpani, also known as the kettle drums. I unfortunately do not own those instruments and have them at my house, so I'm going to show you a quick slideshow of what those instruments look like. And we do not own all of those instruments at the school, but we own glockenspiels, a xylophone, and timpani. So take a minute, check out what the pitched percussion instruments look like and what they sound like. Percussion also includes non-pitched instruments. I'm going to show you a few of them because I do own them. So let's check it out together, shall we? We shall. All right, now that we're in the music studio, we're going to talk about some of the non-pitched percussion instruments. And we're going to start with the snare drum, which is right here. Snare drum is one of the most common non-pitched instruments, and you can play all kinds of things on it, like this. Or this. You can also play the tambourine, which is right here. You can also play the cabasa. You can play the shaker. You can play the vibra slap, which I find pretty awesome myself. All right, and just for fun, let's play a little drum set. All right, you can kind of see the different parts of the drum set. You've got your snare drum right here. You've got your hi-hat cymbal, crash cymbal, splash cymbal, other crash, ride, china cymbal, and you have your tom-toms here, and you have your kick drum down here. Here we go. Or you can play something jazzier, like this. So that, my friends, is percussion. One thing I should tell you about how percussion works in the Germantown Band is that if you choose percussion, you will need to have a practice bell set and a practice pad for snare drum at home to practice. And the first 4 months of the school year will be spent entirely learning how to play bells, how to read notes, and how to do pitched percussion. In January, we start learning about snare drum and the other non-pitched percussion instruments. That way, you have a good understanding of the full range of percussion instruments within the percussion family. Now that you have seen the different instruments available to you in the Germantown Band, let's talk a little bit about how to sign up. Here's how you sign up. If you go to the Germantown website or the Germantown Facebook page, or if you're a current 3rd grader entering 4th grade, it should be in your parents' email. I made available some paperwork that explains the process. One of the pieces of paperwork is a letter that outlines basically everything gone over about how to join band, so please take a look at that, read it through. My email address is on there. If you have any questions, please feel free to send me a note at any time. There's also a web survey that you can fill out if you're interested in joining, which basically asks you to pick a first choice instrument and a second choice instrument. And the reason I ask people to pick a first and second choice is because I have to make sure the instrumentation in the band is balanced. And what I mean by that is I don't necessarily want to have 20 people playing the flute and nobody playing anything else. So if people pick a first and second choice, that allows me to make sure that we have some representation by each instrument in the band so that the band can sound balanced, blended, and as professional as possible. So I will make every effort in my capacity to give people their first choice, but in a few cases I might need to assign people their second choice of instrument just to ensure a balanced band. So with that in mind, I would ask you please hold off on securing an instrument until I make instrument assignments, which will be done near the end of June, and I will send those out via email. So to sign up for band, just to review, please read through the letter that explains the process. Check out these videos again if you need to familiarize yourself again with the various instruments, and fill out the online survey so I know you're interested. And I will look at the surveys when they come in, and we will go from there. You're probably also wondering how to secure an instrument. As explained in the letter, there are many ways to do this. One of my favorite ways is through the John Keel Music Rent-to-Own program. John Keel Music is a music store based out of Albany that delivers to Germantown, and they offer a rent-to-own program which works as follows. The first 4 months are covered by a one-time fee, and then after that, if the student continues playing, it becomes a monthly payment arrangement, which eventually translates into ownership of the instrument when it is paid off. This is an excellent program and one that many families have used successfully. Other options exist as well. You can always purchase a new or used instrument, though if you do that, I would recommend doing so carefully for a couple reasons. Instruments sold online, sight unseen, can be very hit or miss because an instrument oftentimes can look amazing, but there might be hidden issues that affect its playability. Similarly, an instrument can look, shall we say, less than amazing, but sound incredible and play incredibly. And additionally, I urge caution if shopping for an instrument at a big box store such as Target or Walmart or Sam's Club or something similar, because oftentimes these instruments are available at extremely competitive prices, but there's a reason the prices are what they are, and that's the quality of the instrument is just simply not as good as it should be, and often winds up discouraging young players from pursuing the instrument. So, if you have questions about how to secure an instrument, please do not hesitate to reach out at any time, and likewise, please do not let financial concerns be a roadblock to pursuing band next year. We will find a way to make it work. I do have some school instruments available for families with financial need, and there are also other avenues that can be explored. So one of the questions on the survey asks if financial need is a concern, so please answer that honestly if it is. It's confidential. I will see it, and I will work with you in every way possible to find a way for band to work. So please do not let that hold you back or be a deterrent. Likewise, if you need a little more time to figure this out, if there's just too much going on during the present time to do this, it is never too late to join band. So even if it doesn't happen until the fall, you are still welcome to sign up then. My email is always on, so reach out anytime. We will make it happen, whether you sign up now, or sign up over the summer, or sign up in the fall when school resumes. If you have any questions at any point, please do not hesitate to reach out to me, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you so much for considering joining the band, and I hope to work with you next year. Have a good one.